Hey guys, this is episode 1. My name is Maurizio. You might know me from my other channel, Ms. 1. And I want to talk to everybody who's new, trying to get on the path of Wicca or Witchcraft. And I'm going to explain what the differences are. Wicca is a religion, an earth-based religion, that believes in duality of deity, which would be God and Goddess. Um, it's all about appreciating the earth. Yes, there's magic involved in it, but it's not all about spell casting. There's still things like making your own incenses, making your own elixirs, appreciating the earth and all that's around you and the divine. Um, and the great thing about it too is, of course, you look at Christianity and how they really abhor sexuality, whereas with Wicca, they actually embrace it, that it's actually sacred and that it's okay and that we're not all sinners and we're all going to hell. Wicca um, is not about worshiping the devil. That is basically all Christianity and Catholicism. Um, they pretty much took the horned one from paganism and created their own, bad guy called Satan, uh, and the devil, and basically they try to oppress what Wicca is and paganism. But I'm not going to get into all that because I don't want to start a whole thing about the burning times. Basically, um, it's not a bad religion. It's not a bad practice. It's a lot about self empowerment, self growth. Um, I like it so I can be able to help myself and to help others. Um, I would say I'm eclectic, which means that I take things from different traditions. This would mean um, I could be taking things from, let's say, voodoo or Santeria. Um, I could be taking things about earth magic, about fairy magic, whatever. Things like shamanism, all these different things integrated together. I take what I like out of everything and I make it my own path, basically. And that's not making your own tradition. You can't make it your own tradition unless you start with the basics. And my suggestion for somebody starting on this path of Wicca or Witchcraft would be to get Wicca, God for Solitary Practitioner by Scott Cunningham, and Wicca for Beginners by Thea Sabin. That was my first book that I had. My second book I got was The God for the Solitary Practitioner. Now, again, Wicca is a religion. Witchcraft is a practice of using magic, the dark aspects and the light aspects of it. And witchcraft isn't a religion, it's just a practice that you do. You can still be all about the spellcasting and everything, but that would make you a witch pretty much. If you're Wiccan, that means you believe in the whole Wiccan Rede, which means the power of three. That everything that you do comes back to you threefold. Rather you do something good, you do something bad, it's going to come to you back 3 times. And of course, the Wiccan Rede is do as thou will, as long as it harms none. And that's totally true. And I agree with that, and I have some disagreements about it as well. But I consider myself a witch. I do not consider myself Wiccan. I'm not a bad person. I've not harmed anybody. But there's just certain views I have about you can't just totally just do nothing and watch everything bad happen around you. That you have to take some action. Um, but again, it's a controversial subject for another time, and I just want to explain the basics of it. It's Wiccas and witchcraft. It's not bad. Um, Again, it's all about embracing the earth and everything around you, self empowerment, self growth, and I've been realizing like when I first got into Wicca and witchcraft, it was more of an experiment and research. And for me, um, I said I want to see if this works. So I had a simple, not magic charm to bring good luck and prosperity towards myself. And it was really funny for because I had apparently an entity with me that was trying to screw up my life. And every time I was doing a not magic charm with my feathers and everything, the knots kept breaking, which was really funny. Kind of frustrating too, but eventually I got it all working and everything did work out. My luck did improve and everything. And this brings me back to the fact that um, using magic and doing magic is all about your belief and your will. And personally, I find doubt is the greatest thing that works against somebody who is practicing magic and spellcasting. Um, from personal experience, one of my first spells that I did was trying to get a new job. So what I did was I made an essential oil of mint to bring good luck and prosperity and good fortune. And I rubbed all these green candles with it. I made my own incantation. I dressed the candles and I charged the candles with the appropriate herbs. The appropriate hours, again, are very important, and the moon phases. Um, and what you have to realize is when you practice magic and spell work, you have to work on the mundane plane, which thus it's going to make you into a stronger character of a person because the stronger you are of your will and your character, the better everything's going to work out for you magically. You have to work things on the mundane plane. Like, for example, you can't just ask the gods to help you have money in your life if you're not out there trying to get a job or trying to do something in relation that will help have things fall on your lap. And what I had done previously for this spell is I had applied at least over 30 places online to try and get a job. Then I had done my spell. It had been a couple of days, and yes, I started having doubt about it. But I heard a voice tell me, something good is going to happen. Just you wait. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna have more belief in it. And then I started feeling that something amazing is gonna happen. That I'm going to get calls back. And yes, I did. I got a whole bunch of calls back that day. Every place called me back. I had over 30 job interviews, and I had to decide who I wanted to work for, which was freaking awesome. And in the end, I got like an awesome job, and now I am going from that job to try to open my own shop on Etsy, which I'm going to, try to put links down. But I'm going away to Peru for about a month to go and see a shaman and to help myself have more self growth and to look within myself to see what I can do for myself and others. Um, hmm. I guess I can talk a little bit about myself. I was really interested in the occult when I was 16 and younger. But of course, I was a little bit freaked out about it, as I'm pretty sure some people were and have been interested and freaked out about what is it really about. And hence, I went into reading about everything. Now I'm 23 and I decided to read and everything. I said, I think maybe Wicca and witchcraft can help change my life around. But again, beware that to not go spellcast and everything to make your life go well because it might not be in the god's interest to have you have so much power and go berserk and whatever because of course there's like three kinds of power. There's power to help yourself, power to help others, and power to have power over people, which is really bad and that will corrupt yourself and it's just going to be bad, and I don't suggest that for anyone. um, hmm. So I guess I could just say like my path as an eclectic witch is I take voodoo and santeria. Um, and this is going to go a little bit with Wicca too. Wicca and witchcraft is not about animal sacrifices, but voodoo and santeria are. But I don't incorporate those parts into my practice. I'm more about just giving them offerings of what they want. And I also like giving offerings to anything that might be negative that could try and block things in my life to try and make things neutralized. And one of the first books that I got was Protection and Reversal Magic by Jason Miller. And he talks about the practice of meditation, banishment, and offerings to do them every single day or to do them at least once a week. And I wouldn't say that I do banishings and offerings and meditation all the time or once a week or even every day, but I have seen results that that does make things go easier in your life. Um, and it's interesting because he also has practiced ceremonial magic. And for myself, I find speaking in Hebrew or a different language and being able to comprehend what it is just amazing. Um, I'm trying to learn soon after finished reading my book called The Grimoire for the Apprentice Wizard. Um, Now, that grimoire book is really amazing. It's over 300 pages. It will tell you about how to make rituals from scratch, um, everything you need to know about Wicca and witchcraft. And after that, I'm going to be reading Ryan Buckland's complete book of witchcraft. And for me, I really found out to take a step back, really appreciate the earth more, be more attuned to it, which I am trying to do. And of course, it's not all about self empowerment to have power over people or so much power. But I'm coming to a point now that you will end up realizing that um, it's not all about you having so much power. It's more about the power that's given to you to manifest these spells, manifest this magic, is not a privilege or a right. It's really a gift from the gods. It is their power which is being lent to you to have you um, improve the life of yourself and others um, through good actions, obviously. And now I just feel it's more about appreciating, giving back. Um, for myself, I was really trying to have a lot of self empowerment, and increase my psychic powers and everything, and that helped me a lot. Um, I don't know where exactly I'm going on my path, but my path is really to try and learn everything. To be honest, I want to fully be fledged into occultism and be able to help someone or people, obviously. So I guess this is pretty much a good summary, but I guess I could have gone more in detail about it, but that's pretty much the basic groundwork stuff about what Wicca and witchcraft is. It's not bad. It's a really beautiful religion. It's a really beautiful practice, witchcraft even in itself. And for myself, um, really consider doing spell work as a last result after you've exhausted everything mundanely, really. And that's going to make you more of a stronger person. That's going to give you more self growth and everything. It's like going about, am I going to use a spell to try and improve things at work because my relationship with my boss isn't good? You know what I mean? Am I going to make some kind of magical powder that's going to make things go better and be a weak person? No, probably not going to do that. There's probably going to be consequences to that too. You know what I mean? And if there's problems, you can always try to manage it or whatever. Fine, you have rights, whatever. Why not work things mundanely? And I just find that you just start realizing and you start feeling how much more powerful of a person that you are when you start working mundanely, um, to exhaust all those options before you work things on the spiritual level. Like my friend was telling me, she was saying, how the hell do you expect to do anything magically, spiritually, if you not even have the will, or the belief or power to try to have things work out for you in the physical world? It just doesn't work. And she's absolutely right about that. And she is formally trained in the Gardnerian tradition of Wicca. I'm not formally trained or anything. I personally have researched, read books like crazy. I have probably have a library now of about 30 books. I'm interested in so many different traditions, um, but I'm gonna go and agree with myself that my main deities are of the African tradition. Um, but I'm so interested in Greek, Roman, Norse, all the traditions and all the pagan religions. And I hope that I can learn so much. And I try focusing on everything that I can, little by little, multitasking, and I guess my challenge I want to probably say for people who are newcomers um, would be to try and attune yourself to one element a year. Like, for example, this is going to be my first year coming this January, and I'm going to focus on earth magic and gain to be attuned more with the earth, to be more centered and be more grounded. One of the things that I did not realize in the beginning of practicing magic was um, how to properly cast a circle, which is really important. And I'll do that on another video because it's going to be really long. Um, and protection magic. Protection magic is extremely important to know because, of course, do not summon or invoke those which you cannot banish and send away. When you don't know what you're doing, things can go really out of hand. But of course, I've learned that the hard way because, of course, my gods like to play hardball, and but it's all about experience. There's only so much you're gonna learn through books, like I've been told through my mentors and everything at PanFest, and a lot of it is going to be about experience. But before you even have the experience, you have to know the basics, which I'm going back to the whole Wiccan books and everything. And there's a lot of people who have a lot of the terms and everything mixed up think that you can just create your own tradition. Well, a tradition, by definition, like Avalon Moon, Naughty One was talking about, is it's being passed on by generation through oral tradition. Um, it's been around for a while. You can't just be another like Jill Gardner and create your own tradition without knowing the basics. And I think a lot of people um, really are eclectic. They take a lot of things from different pagan traditions, different pagan religions, but that's not in any right being your own tradition. So once you have a fundamental grasp of what everything is, then maybe you can start creating your own tradition that will start with yourself and be passed down lineage by lineage and create something completely different, but still it will be incorporating the basics of how to cast a circle, um, close a circle, call in the quarters, and there's certain elements that will have to remain the same, but they can have different variations and techniques for that. Um, so I have a website that I'm having now as a community website. It is www.thepaganttree.msrv.ca. I'm going to put the link down below. And I just want to be a site where people can come and talk about any issues or concerns, any questions they have about paganism and Wicca, the craft, and witchcraft, which is really good because even I'm learning too, even though I've been probably doing this for 7 or 8 months now. I'm probably way ahead of a lot of people who've been doing this for 7 or 8 months because I really want to learn and I really study and practice like crazy. But of course, I'm taking a step back and just trying to be more attuned to everything, which I find, sometimes I just go outside, smell the roses, appreciate nature instead of just being stuck in your house and just going spell casting crazy. You gotta enjoy making the little crafts and stuff. That could be like little charms and whatever, and creating your own incenses. It's so much fun when you put your own energy into your own work. Um, well, my next video, I will be talking about, ritual tools. Do you really need them, or do you really have everything on your own ability to do everything? And talk about correspondences and stuff like that, and circle casting. So, many blessings.